Joining us as he does every Monday after Aztec football right here on Extra Sports 1360, Aztec head coach Rocky Long. Coach, first of all, congratulations on the victory. I thought your kids showed a lot of guts, a lot of heart to be able to pull that thing out against a lot of adversity Saturday night. The weather, the injuries, everything else that went on Saturday night, you still found a way.
Well, thanks. I mean, we're happy that we won, and I think that they showed a lot of heart. Like you said, I thought that we hung in there when things were going not so good for us. We moved the ball really well. We played pretty good defense. We just didn't get the ball in the end zone as much as we should have, and it was nice to see able to make a kick that allowed us to go ahead, and the defense shut them down after that, and we're happy to be back with a win.
Do you ever think the final score of a game can be kind of misleading? Because I watched the game, and you guys dominated, I mean, most of the time. I think you had the ball for like 14 minutes in the third quarter, but as you said, didn't get a point out of it. Was that final score, as close as it was, a little misleading, or is the final score all that matters?
The final score is all that matters, but it just shows you how a game can go, because I thought we played pretty well on offense. I thought we played pretty well on defense, and I thought that we controlled the game. I thought we controlled the game from the first quarter on, and you would think that we, with the extra number of plays and the time of possession and the field position, you'd think we'd be ahead by 2 or 3 touchdowns, but that's not the way it worked out. And they tied it up with a drive that was helped dramatically by a couple questionable calls, and they tied it up. But I think the best thing our team did was after they tied it up, we made a nice drive down to put it in field goal range, and then Abel made the field goal, and then the defense took over after that.
How tough was it for you to send Abel Perez onto the field at that point? I mean, young man, his confidence had to be shaken. He missed 2 kicks earlier in the game, coming off a game a few weeks ago where he'd missed a couple of short field goals. But you were sitting there at 4th and 9 on the 20-yard line. It was really the only play you could make was to send your field goal kicker out and cross your fingers. Did you? I know you don't like to talk to your kicker very much. Was this a situation where you gave him a little pep talk, or did you just send him out there and hope?
No, I talked to him earlier after one of the misses, but I didn't talk to him right before that kick, no. In fact, I think we had 3rd and fairly short, and then we got a procedure penalty that backed it up for 5 yards, and we threw an incomplete pass, so there was no choice but to send him out there, and I'm glad that he came through for us.
I know team accomplishments always outstrip individual achievements, but can you talk about Ryan Lindley becoming the all-time passing leader at San Diego State? Because as far as personal achievements go, that's quite an impressive one.
Oh, I think it's super that he got that, and I'm sure he's going to add to it over the next 3 games. And I think that if the wind wasn't blowing as hard as it was and we hadn't dropped a few passes, that he would have broke that record even with more yardage. But I thought, to be honest with you, I thought that was Ryan's best game all year. With the wind conditions and everything, he had the ball on the money. You know, he kept us in the game. He made the right checks to plays. I thought it was his best game overall.
I agree with you, Coach. I mean, considering the wind, I mean, where did you rate that in terms of wind games? I mean, in bad weather games that you've been a part of, we're sitting in the press box trying to get a feel for it, and I know we couldn't get the proper feel for it Saturday night because it was howling down there. Some people said it was up to 60, 70 miles per hour. It also seemed like it was changing directions about every 2 or 3 minutes. Where did that rate in terms of bad weather games, in terms of wind, as hard in terms of the conditions were concerned?
Well, I don't think rain or snow has anything to do with the outcome of the game, but I do think wind makes a dramatic difference, and that's as bad a wind game as I've ever been involved with. Mostly because you mentioned it. Mostly because it changed. If you could get a feel for a whole quarter, you're going to have it at your back or in your face. You could plan for it, but the way the wind was changing directions all the time, you couldn't even plan for being with the wind or against the wind. So it's as bad at wind conditions as I've been involved with.
Coach, what's the health status of your running game? I know the bad news about Walter Casey, but how's Ronnie doing? And you got some nice work out of your third stringer on Saturday night as well.
Well, yeah, Adam Wimma came in and did a pretty nice job in an emergency situation. Ronnie has a slight ankle sprain. Hopefully it will respond to treatment, and he'll be all right for Saturday night against Boise. Other than that, if he's not well, we'll have to probably throw another freshman in there and see how they do.
Well, it is Boise State week. Now, it's a little different circumstances because they got beat on Saturday I imagine as a coach that worries you that they're coming off of a loss. I'm trying to turn that around and spin it the other way, that maybe you're catching them at the right time, Coach. Maybe they're going to be a little down on themselves, realizing that their conference championship hopes have been dashed, their BCS championship hopes have been dashed. Maybe they'll be a little down on themselves and you guys can jump on them. How about maybe it working out to San Diego State's advantage that Boise State lost a game on Saturday?
Well, I hope you're right, because my experience tells me that when a good football team who's used to winning a lot of games loses a game, usually their resolve is more the next week, and they come in kind of upset and kind of mad. But I like your scenario better.
Yeah. Well, let's hope that it works. I'll talk to the Boise State team, and I'll try to get them to be thinking that way.
Okay, good.
But I know that you do think that this is the most talented football team you faced all year, even though you played TCU earlier, even though you played Michigan earlier. But this is a great Boise State football team. There's no two ways about it. Sure, they lost a game on Saturday, but skill-wise, offensive, defensive line, speed, you guys are going to be really dealing with a lot of tough angles to have to handle here against this ball club.
Well, I think they're the best team we've played all year, and will be the best team we play all year. And they get a lot of credit for being really good on offense. Their quarterback is outstanding. He's got a lot of good guys around him. But what people don't realize is they play really, really good defense, too, and that's why they win all those games.
How excited is your team going to be to get to play this game? You've talked in the past about how, New Mexico always got excited to play in a stadium like at San Diego State. But what about a San Diego State team playing against a nationally ranked opponent that's gotten so much attention? That must get some college students up for a game like that.
Well, I think our team is excited about playing, and I think they'll be ready to play come Saturday night. Now, as a coach, we'd like to get to the point that we treat every game exactly the same, and now the national hype over this game will probably make it impossible for us to treat it the same, but somewhere in this program's development, we will be able to treat every game exactly the same no matter who it is coming in here.
40,000 tickets have already been sold for the game on Saturday night. They're looking for more and a sellout possibility, and that would certainly aid the cause. The student section has been growing and growing at your football games, Coach, and I know that you're looking for this big crowd to help give you a boost on Saturday night. I don't know that you're aware of this, but I like to pass these little tidbits on to you. San Diego State has never beaten a team in the top 10 in the college football rankings. The highest-ranked team SDSU has ever beaten was number 12 Iowa State, and that goes all the way back to 1981. So this is a huge opportunity for the program to take a gigantic step forward and beat somebody in the top 10, and I know you'd like to have 60,000 people alongside of you to help you do it.
Well, I think we've been helped throughout the season at times with the energy in the stadium and the support from the home crowd, and hopefully we get that this week. I mean, it's always nice to have people behind you. It gets you over humps when things aren't going very well. It gives you momentum when things are going good. It's always good to be at home if you have a supportive crowd, and I hope that's what we have.
Well, Coach, good luck against the Broncos on Saturday, and we look forward to talking to you after that game, hopefully talking about a victory.
All right, I appreciate the call. Thanks a lot, guys.